Hey friends, Ash here with Gents. Hope you're doing well. The moment of truth is upon us. A couple of weeks ago, I asked you guys on the community tab of my YouTube channel, what is the best flanker of all time? You guys voted, you guys commented and commented and commented, and we tallied up the votes, and now we've got the winners. So according to you guys, you, not me, these are the best fragrance flankers of all time. So if you want to be mad at anybody, be mad at yourself or the other guys that voted. You know, fight amongst yourselves, I guess. Let's jump into it. Let's check these out. And if you guys potentially want to be on the next one of these videos, check my community tab. I usually have a post up there somewhere where you can comment or vote on fragrances for a video. Before we jump into the first one, those codes, Gents10 for Twisted Lily and LuckyScent.com, that will get you 10% off the entire website. First up, a fragrance from Dior. This one got the most votes, so this is officially the winner. So I guess we're starting at the top and working our way down. It is Dior Sauvage Elixir. You guys love this stuff. Best flanker of all time? Apparently, according to you. Alejandro Varela says, Sauvage Elixir so far has been an amazing release. There's so many others, but this one hits different. Not gonna argue with you guys showing love to Sauvage Elixir because I think this is an awesome release. It's also very expensive, but at least the quality's there. But to be fair, you expect the quality to be there with Dior releases anyway. Doesn't really have a ton to do with the original Sauvage as far as the scent DNA. When you smell this, it doesn't smell very close to Sauvage Eau de Toilette, but I'm okay with that. It actually reminds me a bit of fragrances from the 80s. As I've said a number of times, it has a modernized, very masculine feel to it. The performance is outstanding. This stuff lasts forever. It projects very heavily. So again, even though it's expensive and the bottle is small, you get your money's worth. Technically, they did come out with a 100 ml size bottle of this. I think it goes for $230. Woo! But Sauvage Elixir is a killer fragrance. Love this one, and this was your winner. Spoiler alert, like way after I was supposed to say spoiler alert. After that one, another Dior. It's Dior Homme Intense. Harold Cadena says, has to be Dior Homme Intense, hands down! Exclamation point. Exclamation point. Dior Homme Intense might actually be my favorite flanker of all time. I haven't sat down to officially rank the top 10, and depending on what mood I'm in, it could change, but this would be in the top 3. I'm very confident of that. One of, if not the best iris fragrance for me that's ever been made. It's makeup-y, lipsticky, rich, creamy, sweet, dense. It's absolutely fantastic. Dior Homme Intense, just a masterpiece of a fragrance. So Christian Dior getting the gold medal and the silver medal in this video. Number 3 from Christian Fraser is Acqua di Gio Profumo. But to be fair, his entire comment was, Acqua di Gio Profumo, I just tried Azaro Wanted by Night and I was blown away, to be honest. So with that, I'm gonna take it as Acqua di Gio Profumo, and that you're also just letting me know, hey man, I tried Wanted by Night and that was really good too. And I agree, it is good. Acqua di Gio Profumo is the most loved of the Acqua di Gio fragrances, the Acqua di Gio flankers. It's the one that gets talked about the most. People still go crazy for this stuff. I think it is a really solid release. The incense that's added in here gives Acqua di Gio a little bit more wearability in cool weather situations, but it maintains that Acqua di Gio versatility and complement factor that people love. So Acqua di Gio Profumo coming in at number 3. And personally for me, in the top 3, no real surprises. Number 4 is another Christian Dior. So according to you guys, I think it's pretty safe to say Dior has the best flankers ever of all time. Not even including their discontinued flankers that are very difficult to find. Some of those, solid. Bears says Fahrenheit Le Parfum. Specifically, he said, Fahrenheit Parfum is so underrated. I'm confident that I'd take it over original any day of the week. I'm not sure personally if underrated is how I would describe this one, because most people that have smelled this rate it. They think it's awesome. Like me, I think it's awesome. It has that Fahrenheit DNA, so you get that petrol tinged leather in here, that violet, but it also has this nice boozy sweetness, which really elevates the fragrance, helps set it off, makes it smell a bit more modern, easier to wear, less dated. And for me personally, I love Fahrenheit, the original, but I would absolutely take this pretty much any day of the week over that. Number 5 is from Richter, and he chose Eros Flame. Eros Flame has to be one of the best flankers ever. Took an already great smelling and popular scent and built on it. Totally underrated and underappreciated. Eros Flame, I would say, is more underappreciated than Fahrenheit Le Parfum, at least within the fragrance community. As far as your average Joe, though, maybe the Fahrenheit would be underappreciated. Average Joe is going to know about Eros Flame more often than Fahrenheit Le Parfum, I'd say. I really do like Eros Flame, actually. When I first got this in, I didn't really care for it a whole lot. I was kind of underwhelmed. But then as I wore the fragrance more, I grew to really appreciate it. I like the Kenoto that's in here. I like that hit of fresh spice that it has. Still has that sweetness that you know from Eros, the original. Has great complement factor, better versatility than the original, I would say. Really solid fragrance. Eros Flame, definitely, based off your guys' votes, is underappreciated. And the next choice was Prada L'Homme Intense from McMac. 100. Prada L'Homme Intense. 100. So this fragrance right here is, in my opinion, the best from the Prada L'Homme line. It took that Prada L'Homme DNA and it built on it, much like Eros Flame was mentioned. The leather that's added in here gives it a more masculine touch, gives it more of a push, more of a mysterious feel, and extra sexiness, you might say, as compared to the original. But it maintains that easy wearability and versatility that Prada L'Homme has. So Prada L'Homme Intense, this is a stunning fragrance, more difficult to find in the US now than it used to be, unfortunately, but a great choice. Now there's a big drop off from here to the rest of the fragrances. So these first 6 that I mentioned to you had the most votes by a pretty wide margin. After this, like I said, it drops off. How much? Well, basically, this one got double the amount of votes as the next fragrance, and then it goes down from there. Next fragrance was chosen by Met Tekken. I completely screwed that, I'm sorry. Code Profumo. They said Code Profumo was a legendary flanker. Hope we'll get a new version of it. Well, you know how designer fragrances go. It seems like everything is cyclical, so it wouldn't surprise me if at some point down the road we get a new version, a new iteration, a rebirth of Code Profumo in some way, shape, or form. And this one really did help Armani Code take off. When this came out, it hit hard, much like Acqua di Gio Profumo did. People were talking about this. People were freaking out about it, buying it, posting it, just all over the place when this was released. It has a really nice opening, very sweet and spicy, and has this effervescence to it. Great complement factor, great performance. A lot to love about this. Fall and wintertime staple for a lot of guys out there. And then, of course, after this came my beloved Code Absolute, which kind of worked off the DNA of this one, which really this one smells like to me that it worked off the DNA of Code Ultimate, which was discontinued back in the day. Next fragrance was chosen by Ned, and it's a very simple post that he made, Spice Bomb Extreme. That's all it says. So Ned, keeping it short and simple, I appreciate it. Spice Bomb Extreme is my favorite Spice Bomb, has been for quite a while. It still has that Spice Bomb DNA, that blast of spice that you get as soon as you spray it on. But here you have this really nice black vanilla, which adds additional smoothness and sweetness, and I think takes the scent profile up to the next level. It is one of those fragrances that has extreme in the name, and that actually carries over into the fragrance's performance. Sometimes you have fragrances that are extreme or intense or intenso or whatever, and the performance is not quite so extreme, but here it is. It'll last forever, it'll project heavily, it'll get you a ton of positive attention in fall and winter time. Spice Bomb Extreme still getting love, and I'm here for it. Now, as we work into the last 2, I do want to say that Dior Homme Parfum got a good amount of votes also, but that Dior Homme Intense had more. So if we were going to include Dior Homme Parfum in this video, this is the spot that it would have come in at. But because I already had Dior Homme Intense, and a lot of people would say Dior Homme Intense, Dior Homme Parfum, Sauvage Elixir, Fahrenheit Le Parfum, that's enough Dior. We're gonna leave Dior Homme Parfum out, but it would have been here. So let's look at this small picture cutout of Dior Homme Parfum and give it respect. Respect. Next up is Le Male Le Parfum. Elijah Castillo says, Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male Le Parfum. There isn't a close second in JPG fragrances. This is a little bit funny because the last video I did with you guys, where you gave me hot takes on designer fragrances, one of those hot takes was Le Male Le Parfum sucks. And then, as always happens without fail, you do a video about the best flankers of all time, and this is in the top 10. Which again goes to show the great divide that we sometimes have with fragrances where people have different opinions. It's insane. So on this side over here, it's the worst fragrance ever. It's overhyped, it's trash. And on this side over here, it's one of the best flankers that's ever existed. Now, where do I stand? I'm over here with these guys. I actually think Le Male Parfum is awesome. The iris in here smells fantastic. It adds to the fragrance instead of trying to overwhelm it. You still have a bit of sweet spice in there. You have a nice amount of warmth. It has the Le Male DNA, so it kind of speaks back to the original, but then tweaks it and changes it and makes it more appealing to people that are buying fragrances nowadays. We are at the final one, and this was actually a twofer. Alberto Carabello. I'm having a blast with La Nuit de L'Homme Bleu Electrique and L'Homme Ultime. Well, in the US, La Nuit de L'Homme Bleu Electrique, you can't really find anymore, which is unfortunate. My favorite La Nuit de L'Homme flanker, Bleu Electrique, is just fantastic if you like that DNA from the original La Nuit. The cardamom in here smells great. It's very wearable. It has this fresh blue twist to it, hence the name. This is fantastic. Also, good luck finding it for a price that's not insane. Again, in the US. I think some people in other countries have more luck than us. And then L'Homme Ultime. It's long been a favorite of mine, so this I agree with also. Might actually be my favorite L'Homme flanker. They've got a lot of them, so it's like I'm running through the Rolodex in my mind, but I think this might be my favorite. The ginger opening with citrus is to die for. It smells so good. And then the rose through the opening and the mid also is expertly done. It's not powdery, it's not jammy, it's super fresh, very classy, very versatile. So L'Homme Ultime, kind of a surprise having that one pop in here at the bottom of the top 10, but I'm happy to see it. So there we go, guys. According to you, these are the top 10 best flankers of all time. Christian Dior absolutely crushed it. And then Armani did really good as well. Well, guys, feel free to disagree with each other in the comments. Feel free to say which fragrances you think should have been in the top 10. Thank you guys for hanging with me here until the end. Thank you for your support. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.